Good day, viewers. Welcome to the FATO Network. We are live here at the National Disaster Management Agency, where we are meeting the Executive Director of the National Disaster Management Agency, Mr. Sanna Dahaba. We are going to be discussing issues surrounding the rainy season, because we know when the rainy season comes, his office is usually very busy with journalists coming in and out. That shows that the people are really concerned about the issues that usually happen during the rainy season. We're talking about flooding, and all the things that are related to these prone flooded areas like Ibo Town. We have NDMA, and so many areas that usually are affected when it comes to the rainy season. Good day, Mr. Dahaba. You're welcome to the FATO Network.
Thank you very much, and you are really welcome.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, so today basically we're going to be talking about the rainy season and everything there is to know about your agency's readiness to tackle some of these issues when they arise.
Okay.
But firstly, I would like to ask you, how prepared are you this year to respond swiftly to any problem with regards to the rainy season in the Gambia?
Thank you very much, the FATO Network. First and foremost, I want to thank the government of the Gambia for creating the enabling environment when it comes to disaster governance in this country. There is a complete paradigm shift when it comes to disaster governance and management. Previously, government was actually concentrating on disaster management, but now the government has shifted to disaster risk reduction, just to make sure that they reduce the impact of disaster on the population. So that's the paradigm shift now the government is actually taking. Disaster is cross-cutting, it's everybody's business, whether it's government, the private sector, or individual. We've all seen recently, globally, disaster has been impacting negatively on the population. The global prediction for this year alone is about 60 disaster events will happen, but in terms of its magnitude and frequency has not been established. These are just predictions, and we have seen recently, even in the sub-region, disaster has been causing serious problem in terms of either being flooding or being windstorm or being fire. We've seen that we have registered disaster around this sub-region, partly because we live in the Sahel region.
Okay, but my question was, how prepared is your organization to
respond
swiftly?
Okay, this is a government that cares about the welfare of the Gambian people. Many times people complain that NDMA has not been responding swiftly. This is part of the problem associated with that is, the problem associated with that is that NDMA relies on dependable, credible, and timely data. It's data that inform our response. It's data that inform policy decision. It's data that inform whatever response that we are going to provide to the people. And data collection is not an event, it's a process. You have to have data to be able to respond to the people. And that data collection is ongoing now. This is why many times you see NDMA, people will complain that NDMA has not been responding swiftly. These are the reasons associated with that response.
Okay. Just a reminder, I would say it is your mandate as the agency responsible for disaster management to sensitize, to sensitize and create awareness in prone communities about initiate actions to prevent response to disaster. So far, have your agency started doing that, particularly this season, to go to prone communities, to sensitize them, and to also initiate actions to respond to disaster?
You see, as indicated in the JAS report, July, August, and September, as far as disaster management and governance in this country is concerned, people are not compliant, they are not adhering to expert advice, and government to a certain extent is not also enforcing. So these are the biggest challenge that the government, as far as my agency is facing in terms of risk reduction in this country.
What is the DAS report?
January, August, July, August, and September.
Okay. What is it all about?
It's all about rain prediction for this year. Just means July, August, and September rain prediction. And it indicates that we're going to have rainy season slightly above normal. And yesterday's rain, as you can see, also signal that negative image. So many areas have been flooded around Greater Banjul area as a result of primarily compliance and enforcement. These are the principal cause of mostly flooding around Greater Banjul area.
Okay. But let's take you back a little bit in 2022,
Yes.
when the country flooded and some lives were lost as well.
Yes.
What were your recommendations? And as of now, if something like that is going to happen, how do you plan on responding to it?
Well, these are, to a certain extent, some of these are policy decisions. Government has to take certain policy decisions. Example, let me ask you, you've had people settling on Talinding Farokono. What the name implies, is Farokono a settlement? You had people settling at Fajikunda Dinkokono. Dinkokono, what the name implies, is that a settlement? And Bakau Farokono, you had people settling at Bakau Farokono. Is that a settlement? You know, naturally, that's not a settlement. Farokono is not a settlement. Dinkokono is not a settlement. You know, is it the government that settled them there? It is by their own choice that they are settling in those areas. You've seen people settling on waterways. The alcalos allocating land to people to settle on waterways. These are constraints that the agency is facing at the moment. This is why we are now working with local government. We're now working with physical planning. We're now working with national road authorities so that we can address such kind of challenges that's facing the agency at the moment.
Was it in your recommendations to evacuate those people?
You see, there has been an NDMA policy. Now that because of such kind of challenges, the NDMA came up with a national disaster management policy that's going to address some of these challenges that we are facing. In relation to that, we are also coming up with a regulation that will enforce our act, that will strengthen our mandate in order to address